So these laws do not stop working. Even if you stop working on them, they are going to continue to create, whether it is good or bad. So which is it that you want? Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber here, and if you're new, welcome. Welcome to the party. Today we are going to be talking about the fact that the laws are always working for you. And I just feel so full of energy today and just so wonderful. I love it. I have like my spooky vibes going on. Happy October. Oh, I love it. Okay, today. Yes. So I actually have a story, and that's kind of what inspired me to make this video, because the law of assumption and the law of attraction are going to be working for you no matter what the hell is going on in your reality, right? No matter what is happening, circumstances don't matter. I'm going to link that video either up here or up here. One day I will figure out where that link is, but it's not today. So yes, the laws are always going to be working for you. Whether you're having a good day, a bad day, a mediocre day, wherever your head is at, it's okay. But the laws are going to keep creating. You are a creator. You create your reality with your thoughts, your feelings, and your assumptions. And they are going to keep creating no matter what. Even if you have a couple of days where you say, I'm not going to affirm, I'm not going to do any techniques, I'm not going to work on myself, I just want a couple of days off. And absolutely, you can do that. Hey, we've all had to do it. We've all had to take days to ourselves where we literally just focus on nothing but maybe eating some ice cream and watching some horror movies. That's what I do. I don't know, playing video games, playing with my tarot cards, you know, a day where I just don't really think and I don't really do anything. But you do want to kind of keep an eye on where your mind is while this is happening, because you are always creating and you are always going to be creating. Sorry, that's what happens when we wake up. I know, it's just like, I didn't want this. Well, it's like I kind of did because this is really cool, but like, oh man, now I have to like be watching this all the time? Yes, but it gets easier over time, I promise you that. It's not going to be as much of a like drilling into yourself of what am I thinking, where are my thoughts right now, and you're going to shift into such a high vibe that you're going to feel as soon as you start to dip down below, and you'll be able to pull yourself out of it real quick. I can do it. A lot of my friends are able to do it. You kind of get into this high vibe state naturally where you are happy, content, everything's good. You don't have to worry about it. And then as soon as you start to kind of dip into like a negative state, you can feel it immediately and you can pull yourself out of it immediately. But the point of this video, while I'm just rambling on and on and on like a mad woman, I was in the store the other day, right? So I had started affirming that everything is cheap for me, right? That I have plenty of money, that anything that I want is cheap, people hold doors open for me, and I like to throw these affirmations in that I don't necessarily care for, right? Like, if somebody holds a door open for me, yeah, that's a really nice thing. They don't have to do it. If I'm walking into a building and somebody doesn't hold a door open for me, I'm fine. I'm not going to lose my mind over it and be like, oh my God, why did that manifestation not work? No, I can open the door. I'm fine. Cool. If it gets held open for me, that's even better. Thank you. And I move on with my day. But I've been affirming these little things that I don't really so much care if they happen or not. And a few of them have been texts from people, specific people that of course I get. I will think about someone and just be like, I haven't heard from them today. I'm like, oh, they'll probably text me. And then before the day's over, or even that night, I'll be asleep, but that same day, yes, they will text me. And it's something where I just don't really care. And being as I don't care, there's not really any resistance or negative thoughts or what if they don't? No, they will. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And then they do. Done. Easy. So one of the things that I was affirming was that people always find me so friendly, that things are so cheap for me. Anytime I go anywhere, I don't have to pay full price, right? And that was something I just kind of threw in, and then I forgot about it. I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter, you know? So I went to the store the other day, and I was getting a cup of tea before I went to work. So I go to this store pretty often to get tea and like drinks and stuff, and if I'm like running late for work but I don't have time to make anything and I don't want to like spend money on like getting food delivered to the office, I will just stop in at this store, spend like $10, grab breakfast and lunch there, and just go right to work. It's on my way. So long story short, I'm rambling again. It's like 2 minutes into this video and I'm just like blah 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 blah. Anyway, I go to the store and I go to make my cup of tea, and I'm over where like the coffee section is. Everybody's making their coffee. I know, I say it funny. It's fine. So everybody is making their coffee. I'm making a cup of regular just black tea, and I was like, I'm gonna have a nice cup of tea. It's a nice calm morning. We're good. So this guy comes over to me that I've never seen in my life, and I probably never will see him again. And he's there with his two, I guess, friends or coworkers, whatever they were. So I'm sitting there and I'm making my cup of tea and I'm just like putting in the sugar and the milk and everything, getting it ready. And this guy's standing right next to me and he just randomly turns to me. I don't say a word to him, right? I'm just doing my own thing. It's first thing in the morning. I'm tired. This guy just turns to me and he just out of nowhere goes, "Hey, they had donuts that were in front of like the coffee and everything." He just turns to me out of nowhere and just goes, "Hey, did you know that if you get one of those donuts, it's only 50 cents for the donut and the drink?" And I'm just like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Isn't that crazy? It's like a today only thing." And they didn't say that to anyone else that was in the store, right? Nobody else that was in the store. This guy just turns to me out of nowhere and says it. He's like, "Yeah, it's 50 cents if you get the donut, but you have to get the donut. You get the donut and you get the drink, and it's 50 cents for both." And I'm just looking at him and I'm like, "Where did you find that out?" And I don't remember what he said. I don't even know if he told me he saw it on the news or the app. I don't know. It was somewhere. But I didn't know about it. And nobody was grabbing it. It was a full basket of donuts that was just sitting right in front of the both of us, like in between the two of us. So I was like, "Oh, I remember affirming that everything's really cheap for me and people find me friendly." I was like, maybe, okay. So I grab one of the donuts and I'm like, if it doesn't work, then I don't care. I'll just pay like full price, whatever. So I go up and I pay for my stuff. And lo and behold, it was 50 cents for the donut and the coffee. And the guy actually saw me online because he got online before I did. And he saw me holding the cup of tea and the donut in my other hand. And I had my phone like in between my fingers. And he just turned around and was like, "Yeah, see, I told you, like, that's awesome." And I was just like, "Yeah, thank you for the heads up." And he was like, "Oh, no problem." And then when I went to leave, everyone's holding the doors open for me. They're like, "Oh, you're so friendly. Like, have a good day." Like, blah, blah. And I was like, "Whew, okay." So the universe is always working for us. The universe, your higher self, God, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever force you believe it is that's helping you manifest and create, whether it's just yourself, fine. But it is always working for you. And I have another example too. I have so many stories. I'm constantly creating stuff and it is like coming to me so quickly all the time that I'm like, I could make a freaking huge video of just all my stories in the past freaking week of things that I have manifested. But just for the sake of time, we're just going to do this last story here. So this was about 2 weeks ago now. I do kickboxing and one of my kickboxing coaches was having an event. So I wound up going to it. And this was about an hour away from where I live. So the parking over near where this event was held was not very good, right? So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I drive out there and I can't find a parking spot to save my life. And I started getting frustrated because I was like, what the hell? And like I had manifested that I always get good parking spots. And I don't even repeat that one. That's just an affirmation that I'm like, yeah, I always get good parking spots. I'm always near the front. It doesn't matter where I am. I get a good spot. And that's it. And it happens. I'm used to it now, right? So now I go to this place about an hour away and I can't find a parking spot for my car. And I start getting frustrated because I'm like, I just want to park my car. I drove around for literally about 25, 30 minutes in circles, not knowing where the hell to put my car. And I started getting frustrated because I'm like, I paid for this event. I was still early, but I wanted to get a good spot. And I was like, I want to freaking go see what's going on in here. And I can't find a place to put my car. And it was in a different town. So they had different rules with like their parking because I was near a train station. So the train station out near me, you could just park there and nobody cares. But in this other town, you needed like a resident parking permit in order to put your car there. And it was across the street from where this venue was that I had to go to. So I'm like driving around and I saw an open space. So I had to do a huge loop to come back around. And in the time it took me to do the loop, someone else took that spot. And it didn't have a resident parking like sign on it. It was just like regular parking. But there was only like 3 spots in the whole lot that were like that you could just park and it didn't matter. So I started getting frustrated. So what I wound up doing was I pulled into a spot that specifically said on it, resident parking required. And I remember sitting there and I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, how am I supposed to freaking park my car? What am I supposed to do with it? There's no parking here. This guy pulls up next to me, right? I had my window down because it was a beautiful day. So I had my window down and I was kind of looking at my phone over here. I had it like docked and like up against the windshield. So I'm like kind of like looking at him, Googling, and I'm like, okay, well, is there a fine? Like, should I just pay the fine if a cop sees me? Am I going to get towed if I'm here? Like, what are the circumstances if I leave my car here? And I remember thinking to myself, like, I wish I could just get an answer. Within probably 2 minutes of me thinking that to myself, this guy pulls up and the space next to me was empty and I had my window down. This guy pulls up next to me and he goes, "Excuse me, miss." And I'm just like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he was like, "Do you happen to know anything about like the parking here for like the permitting and stuff?" And I kind of looked at him and I was like, no, I was like, I'm not really from here, honestly. I live about an hour out. So I was like, I was actually just trying to Google and figure out like if there's a fine or anything I would have to pay for being here. And this guy just looks at me and he goes, well, I think after 6, parking's free. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't need the permit. And I looked at the clock and it was like 6:02. And I looked back at him and I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. He was like, I'm pretty sure. He was like, it said it on the website. And I was like, oh, well, you found more information than I did in the past couple of minutes of Googling. So we both had a laugh and he was like, have a great day, enjoy whatever it is you're doing. And I was like, oh, yeah, you too. And I looked at my phone real quick and then I looked back over at him, expecting him to still be there. This was like maybe a minute had passed. So I look up and this guy's gone. And I just laughed because I knew exactly what happened. I was like, I sat here frustrated and saying to myself, I wish I had an answer. I wish I knew what was going on. I wish I could freaking just know what I'm supposed to do with my car. And then this guy pulls in out of nowhere, gives me an answer, and leaves. Never saw him again, never saw his car again. I don't know why he pulled in the space next to me at all. He had a question about the parking, but then he gave me the answer to the question he had about it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those things that I was just like, I manifested that guy. And even though I was frustrated and I was in a like state where I was just like, oh my God, I just want to freaking get an answer. I just want to park my car. Like, I was getting visibly frustrated and I was just like, dude, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to go to the event. I want to go. I'm here. I was early. I spent all this time driving around. Like, I started getting frustrated, right? And even with me being in that state, I was still pretty much in a neutral, calm, like, whatever, it's going to work itself out kind of feeling. And because of that, this guy manifested in, gave me the answer, left. I left my car in that same spot. And when I left, there was a cop driving around the parking lot. Didn't give me a ticket, didn't stop me, didn't flag me or anything, nothing. Just saw me go to my car, and I was kind of like, oh God, please don't give me a ticket, but he didn't. And it was completely fine. I remember driving to my friend's house after that, and I was just laughing. I was just laughing because I was like, I manifested that guy. Like, I did. And it's just proof that even if you are in a state where you are frustrated, things are still going to manifest for you. I was lucky enough to say to myself, okay, I'm manifesting. I just wish I had an answer. And it just came to me, right? And just like my other story about how I was at the shop and I was like, oh yeah, everything's always cheap for me, whatever. This random guy just told me, oh yeah, it's 50 cents if you get a donut and a coffee. And nobody else was buying the donut with the coffee. So it was just so random that it was something that I created. I manifested both of those situations, and I was aware of it immediately. So I just wanted to make this little video with just these little stories as just a reminder that it is always working out, right? It's always working out. And you are the one that's in charge of if it's working out for you or against you with your thoughts, your feelings, and your assumptions. If you're having a bad day, hey, we all do it. It's understandable. But try to pull yourself out of that bad day as soon as you can. Because if you even are in that energy that I was in when I was driving around the parking lot of being frustrated and annoyed, and why is this happening, and why can't I just have an answer, and why does everything have to be so annoying, and you stop yourself there and say, no, everything's all right, I'll figure this out, it'll work itself out, I just wish I had an answer. That was essentially my thought process. And then the answer came to me and everything worked out and it was completely okay. It could have ended in a completely different way. I could have wound up getting my car towed, a fine, I could have not been able to park there. There's so many different things that could have happened, but I caught myself kind of going into that kind of downward spiral, and I said, no, I'll be okay. Things will work themselves out. I'm frustrated right now. I understand that, but I'm a creator, and I catch myself, and then I redirect myself the other way, and that is exactly what you want to do if you get into a situation where you are frustrated and things seem like they are not working out. Some things are bigger than others because we perceive them as bigger than others. Tell yourself it's not a big deal. I can get this. I can get that. This may seem like my whole world is falling apart right now. It's not. I'll be okay. Go do something else if you can. Go take a nap. Go watch a movie. Call your friend. Do some tarot. I don't know. Play a video game. Go for a walk. Listen to some music. Whatever it is. My goodness, these motorcycles are loud. Whatever it is you want to do. Kind of get into that state of just like, yeah, I'm frustrated. Yeah, I may not be having a great day, but everything's going to be all right because it's me. I'm creating my reality and it's going to be just okay. Okay? So it's always working out for you. So you may as well have it work out the way that you want it to, or as close as you can. Because even if you are feeling neutral about something, that is better than feeling needy, desperate, and angry about it. Because you were just going to create more needy, desperate, angry situations, so you stay there. If you can pull yourself even just one rung above that emotion, you are going to manifest so much better for yourself. And it will be easier to pull yourself up higher, and you will just have a wonderful, wonderful experience with whatever it is that you are trying to create. It will come to you naturally. It'll be easier. Okay? So I hope this video helps. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!